So if people say they are falsely banned, they are most likely lying. And there we go, it's hashtagged. Of course it's hashtagged. We're gonna go over a few of the things a lot of people are afraid to ask or they don't know who to ask. So I'm gonna be answering some of these that I came across and I think would be helpful to some or a lot of people. So the first question would be, what happens when I cannot pay my bills or when I don't pay my bills? What happens is your electricity gets shut down. You can compare it to this basically. Your electricity gets shut down and you have no light in your house. I somehow do have light, but it's from the candles. So the candles still work even when you didn't pay your electricity. So if you place candles around your plot, you'll always have lights. But then there's other things you can't do, is like watching TV. You cannot watch TV, so you can't get your fun up. You cannot use any sink, shower, or anything that has water in it, like toilets and whatever. So you cannot brush your teeth, you cannot shower, you cannot do anything to get your hygiene up. You cannot cook, so your hunger will be very low. So basically your moods will be lowered except for energy. If you have a bed or a couch, you can get your energy up, but the rest will just go down like that and you cannot do anything. Now, if you pay your bills, your lights don't go on automatically, so make sure to have either a power switch so that you can turn it back on, or have light switches in every single room of the house. Now, to pay your bills automatically, you go into options and you click here on automatically pay bills on, and then you don't have to worry about it. If you have money enough, that is, of course. Then the next common question is, I cannot buy anything. So for example, if you walk up to the ice cream shop, but it can also be the burger shop or Pizza Planet or whatever, and you don't have a button that shows buy ice cream, and you're kind of like worried that you did something wrong, you just go into settings, options, and then show interact tooltip. You click this on off. It has to be on. You close this, you walk around a little bit, and as you can see, if I walk back up here, I can now order food again. So it has to do with this option right here. Show interact tooltip. Then the next question or problem is when you change your language to Oofish and everything just says oof and gets changed to oof, and you want to change that back because you realized you made a big mistake. You click on the little settings button, and for me it didn't change yet because it didn't rejoin. You click on the bottom here, there's the third option next to the save button, and then you go on to the top here, and the first thing is the language setting, and then you set it back to your preferred language. And as you can see, everything changed back to English for me. Then another common question, especially for mobile players, is that they join the game and suddenly they get a black bar on their screen or everything just turns black. Now this can interfere with your gaming experience, but if you want to turn that off, it has to do with your device and it cannot really handle Bloxburg. But you can always set that off. So you click on the little graphics settings. I may have done it too fast. So you click on the settings button, you go to options, then you have graphics right here, advanced setting, and then you go into object quality, and instead of auto, you set it to either low, which means that everything is just set to low right now, so I have a low resolution, I cannot see the materials. You can go back into settings, options, and you go to advanced settings, and then you set it to high, and then increasing this setting could make the game unstable. That's because your device cannot handle all of the materials, but if you are scared that your materials are gone or you see a black bar, you set this back to high, and now I need to rejoin the game in order to make this work. So I'm gonna put it back onto auto. For me, that's the best setting. Now, the other question a lot of people have and are actually scared of is, will I get banned for having a lot of money, or will I get banned for just working? The answer is obviously no. How you get banned is if the program detects you using an injector or a hack, then yes, you can get banned, but you cannot get banned for doing things in game. Like, you can't even get banned for having an orange tree farm or a lemon tree farm, whatever. You can also have a lot of money and not get banned. You won't just get banned. The reason people get banned is because they used injectors, or that someone else used their account and those people used an injector to get money. The program is very good at detecting that, so if people say they are falsely banned, they are most likely lying and they did use an injector. So you don't have to worry at all about playing Bloxburg. If you get banned for having glitched money, you can always access the help center and get unbanned there. people who can't access the help center have definitely done some stuff to get banned, and they used some program to cheat in the game. Another common question is, should I give someone random the co-owner permission? My answer to that is no, but that's completely up to you. But there are some people, like even some YouTubers, who make fun out of deleting people's houses. And if you have a house that you worked hours or even weeks on to build, definitely don't give someone co-owner, because it lets them build on your plot, use your money, the amount of money that you gave them, and it also has the ability for them to remove your house. So be careful, please, with giving out co-owner permission. It is meant for friends building together and whatnot. Then another question some people have around game passes and joining the game. So Bloxburg, when you haven't played it yet, it will probably say 25 Robux to enter, and some people wonder if they have to pay 25 Robux every time they want to play this. No, you pay this 25 Robux just once. It's the equivalent of what, 25 cents? So it's definitely not expensive to join the game, and it's 25 Robux because the game is still in beta and they are still working on it, and you could lose some data or whatever. So definitely worth it, and you do not have to pay 25 Robux every time. Same with the game passes. You do not have to buy the game pass every single time you want to use it. You buy it once and then you have it forever. And talking about game passes, some people buy the advanced placement and then they think that it's not working, so they want to try and place something inside each other. I just need to get into decorations and try something here. So for example, we have this rustic cabinet and they try to place it inside each other. Even with the small placement grid, they cannot do it. So what you do when you just bought the advanced placement game pass is, of course, rejoin first. And then in build mode, like I am right now, you click on the two squares until a dotted line appears. And the dotted line means your game pass is now active. And now you can place stuff inside each other. If you turn it back off, it won't work, just like that. And another thing with game passes is when you bought the premium game pass and you chat and you still have nothing to flex for. Well, I'm the host now, so I cannot show you this, but your text will still be white. What you do is you go into options, you click on a name tag, and in name tag you can click premium, and that will give you the red chat tag. There's also a common question about basement. So people bought the basement pass and they're like, okay, we can finally create a basement, so let's just create this shape right here. And then they go into the basement and they go into decorate, and for example they want to place a table and they're like, okay, I can't place it. Well, you can place that now with the new update, but like you couldn't place it before, or you couldn't paint the floor, and people think that their game pass is broken and they want a refund. Now what you do is you just created an empty room with the basement. So what you still need to do is you need to create walls and of course some flooring like you would do on the normal floor. So see this as grass but in another material. So you still need to create some flooring here, and then you can paint it and whatever you want to do with it. Then this is a simple one. This is the question about why does Control click not work when I want to copy paint. So I'm going to be placing some walls, and for example I do want to paint them in the same color all at once. So for example this green, I want to make a studio or whatever, and I click Control and my left mouse button and it doesn't work. Now what happened is they changed it to shift and left mouse click, and then you can of course copy this over. Same with counters. For example, you have this basic counter, so you paid 100 for it and you paint it. Let's say for example this pink and then this khaki color with the rock. That's another $30, so you spend $130 on this. Now you could just place another counter and copy that color, of course, so that's another $100, and then of course shift click and it paints it for $30. But what you can also do is you can clone this. So you click this tool right here, this is the clone tool, and you click this and then it will be $100 because the paint and everything is the same and you didn't buy something with a different paint and material on it. So definitely keep that in mind. It comes out a little cheaper to clone than to actually copy and paste the color as well. And then another one is, where is my erase data button? I cannot find it. I want to restart my game and erase everything. Now what happened was there used to be an erase data button, but it got removed because people got confused by it, and a lot of people didn't know that it would actually remove everything, like your block bucks and your levels and everything you worked for, like your work levels and stuff like that. The only thing you kept was your game passes, and of course they had to remove it. Now what you can do now is you can go into build mode and you can bulldoze your plot with this little button right here. You choose what you want to keep and what not. So for example, keep the roof, and then you type in your name. So my username is BramP 1996. You click continue and it bulldozes your plot like that, but you cannot erase your data anymore. And then another common question is, how do you get a pre-built house? So when you join the game or you click main menu, you go back to this menu right here and you click play, and you scroll down. Well, for me you scroll down, but if you don't have an extra plot yet, it will just say buy house slot 300 block bucks. So you need to have block bucks in order to buy a pre-built house. That is a certainty. You cannot buy it if you don't have block bucks, and you need to buy a new house slot for it. Now you click this and then it says, are you sure you want to buy an additional house slot for 300 block bucks? Yes, I am. And then you can choose between empty plot and every one of the pre-built houses. So for example, I want this classic family home. I click select and I give it the name classic family home. Oh, I already have one like that. So I name it second house, for example. And there we have it. I bought a pre-built house. I can always rename it by going into the little house icon right here and clicking on this little pencil next to the name and rename it right here. So let's say greenhouse. And there we go, it's hashtagged. Of course it's hashtagged, but yes, I changed the name of my house. Then another common question, how do I buy a private server on Bloxburg? You cannot buy it here if you go into servers. This game does not support VIP servers. However, if you go back to Bloxburg and you go to main menu again, there's this little button next to play with the icon in it, and this is where you buy your private server. It will say buy a private server for 149 Robux a month. And then of course you can change the settings for it, who can join, friends, no one, everyone. Max players, it goes from 1 to 50. You can blacklist players and you can change the name of your server, of course. And to join it, you go back to main menu, of course. You click this little button and then you go into your private server. And then another common question is about donations. I cannot donate and I've waited days. Yes, there is a problem with the cooldown currently, but you can only donate 10,000 if you are not premium and 50,000 if you both are premium. And then there's a cooldown based on how much you donated and to who you donated, and if you donated a lot of times to that person as well. So it really depends from person to person and how much you really donated. But I know it can take a long time. And then the final question I'm going to be answering, and it is a more recent one, is with the cooking. So you take ingredients, let's say bacon and eggs, and you want to prepare that and you need to like fry that, for example. You need to press the button on your keyboard or your food will disappear. So if it says F, you need to click F on your keyboard. If it has a little hand, you need to click on that hand. And you just need to follow the steps, and it's really easy. But if you just click the button that says F, it will of course not do anything. And yes, that happens a lot. And also the food that you stored inside your house has disappeared. There has been a little bug, but the game is still in beta, so you know things like that can happen. Now, those are some of the main common questions that I see a lot around Bloxburg, or people are afraid to ask them, and I hope they helped you if you had a question in one of these sections, and I tried to explain them as well as possible, I think. So that was it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button, and please subscribe.